President Muhammadu Buhari to unveil Nigeria's integrated national financing framework in New York. National Assembly resumes plenary. Media rights agenda drags National Broadcasting Commission to court over broadcasting license. On business, Nigeria Economic Summit Group and marketers fear crisis as fuel subsidy gobs 2.04 trillion naira. And on the international scene, Britain and the world bid farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. And in sports, Jorginho linked with January transfer to Barcelona. Hello, you're welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I'm Fawzi Ibrahim. President Muhammadu Buhari will on Friday, 23rd September 2022, launch Nigeria's integrated national financing framework for sustainable development on the margins of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, who announced this on Monday, said the INFF proposed within the broader Addis Ababa action agenda is a planning and delivery tool to finance sustainable development at the national level. Mr. Femi listed those expected at the launch to include some head of government, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina J. Muhammad, and representatives from countries and international organizations. He said the INFF is also expected to help the recovery from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria, as well as to help address lack of an integrated approach to financing SDGs, which has been a key challenge to meeting the financing requirement estimated at $100 billion over the next 10 years. The National Assembly resumes from its 2-month annual recess, with the lingering crisis between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities being one of the issues of national importance topping the agenda. Already, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, has summoned a stakeholders meeting in the National Assembly complex. Mr. Bajabiamila had invited the Ministers of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Labour, Employment and Education, the national leadership of ASU, and other critical stakeholders to resolve the crisis that had led to the closure of universities for over 7 months. Our correspondent, Zainab Abdulwasi, has more.
During the break, the Minister of Finance disclosed that President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the 2023 to 2025 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the National Assembly for consideration and passage, while the Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Bajabiamila have yet to read the communication to the members of the respective chambers in plenary. The Senate and House Finance Committees have held separate hearing on the proposed MTEF and FSP. Malam Lawan and Mr. Bajabiamila are expected to read out the President's cover letter on the MTEF and FSP, after which the committee are expected to lay their report on it anytime after. Mr. Bajabiamila at an event in September 14 stated that the President is expected to lay the appropriations bill for 2023 by the first week of October. The budget will be presented at the latest by the first week of October. Zainab Abdulwasi reporting for Standard Voice Television.
Media rights agenda has dragged the National Broadcasting Commission before a federal high court in Lagos State over its refusal to reveal details of payment of license fee by broadcasting stations and platforms operating in Nigeria. The Freedom of Information suit was filed on its behalf by Freedom of Expression lawyers Mr. Alimi Adamu along with Ms. Obioma Okonko, Mr. Monday Arunsu and Ms. Opeyemi Yakubu. Our correspondent Raham Ibrahim has more.
The suit, which has NBC and the Attorney General of the Federation named as respondents, questioned NBC's refusal to disclose the amounts of indebtedness of each station owing license fees. MRA is asking the courts to declare NBC's refusal to grant it access to the information a breach of its rights of access to information as well as a flagrant violation of the FOI Act, and to order the Commission to pay it 1 million naira as exemplary and aggravated damages for unlawfully denying its information. In a motion expertise brought pursuant to Order 34, Rules 1 and 3, Act 1 and 2 of the Federal High Court Civil Procedure Rules 2009 and Section 1, Act 3 and 20 of the FOI Act. MRA is seeking leave of the court to apply for a review of the NBC's action pursuant to the FOI Act and to seek a declaration that NBC's denial of access to MRA of the information it requested by a letter dated August 22, 2022 constitutes a violation of the organization's rights of access to information established and guaranteed by Section 1, Act 1 and 4 of the FOI Act. Rahama Ibrahim Dosar, SVTV News.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have boosted a major warehouse in a secluded estate in Okorodo area of Lagos, where 1.8 tons of illicit drugs worth more than $278,250,000 were seized. At least 4 drug barons, including a Jamaican and the warehouse manager, have been arrested in the well-coordinated and intelligence-led operation that lasted 2 days across different locations in Lagos State. Kingpins of the cocaine cartel, who are all members of an international drug syndicate that the agency have been trailing since 2018, were also arrested. The warehouse was raided on Sunday, 18 September 2022, while the bargains were picked from hotels and their hideouts in different parts of Lagos between Sunday night and Monday, 19 September 2022. Preliminary investigations reveal where they were housed in the residential estate, from where the cartels were trying to sell them to buyers in Europe, Asia and other parts of the world. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board will on Saturday conduct a supplementary examination for 67 candidates who had registered for the 2022 UTME but failed to sit for it. JAMB spokesman Fabian Benjamin in a statement said the examination was for candidates who could neither sit for the examination nor take the just concluded mop-up UTME owing to one challenge or another. Our correspondent Muhammadu reports.
The board had, after the 2022 UTME, reviewed the entire exercise and candidates with biometric challenges were given the opportunity of sitting a mop-up examination. The board said, since the conduct of a mop-up examination is a stopgap measure, it would not be allowed to be a permanent feature of its calendar. Therefore, any candidate presenting any strange challenge would have to indicate or declare such peculiarities at the point of registration for them to be given special consideration and allocated to centers within its national headquarters, Abuja, for close monitoring, as the board has phased out the conduct of mop-up examinations. Mr. Benjamin said in spite of the discovery of series of suspicious challenges presented by some candidates, the board had, on account of its avowed commitment to equity and fairness, scheduled another set of 67 candidates to sit the examination at designated centers under close scrutiny of the board. Sumaya Dosa reporting for SVTV News.
And on business,
Audio Jungle.
the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and all marketers under the aegis of the Petroleum Retail Outlet Owner Association of Nigeria are worried by an impending fiscal crisis in Nigeria following the continued rise in subsidy on premium motor spirits. The group expressed its concern in the group's September 2022 report titled The State of Nigeria's Economy, obtained in Abuja on Monday, as figures from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited indicated that petrol subsidy gulped 2.04 trillion naira between January and July this year. NNPC said its under-recovery of fuel subsidy was 210.38 billion naira, 219.76 billion naira, 247.77 billion naira, and 271.59 billion naira in January, February, March, and April 2022, respectively. In the months of May, June, and July, petrol subsidy gulped 327.07 billion naira, 219.18 billion naira and 448.78 billion naira respectively. The total sum spent on PMS subsidy during the 7-month period was put at 2.04 trillion naira. In its latest report on the state of Nigeria's economy, the NESG observed that the federal government's huge fuel subsidy spending had been a drain on the country's revenue despite the rise in crude oil prices in 2022. The NESG said the government should cut its fiscal deficit to avert an impending fiscal crisis, highlighting the gradual withdrawal of fuel subsidy as one of the measures to achieve this. And on the international scene, Britain said farewell to Queen Elizabeth II on Monday at the state funeral attended by world leaders before a historic last ceremonial journey through the streets of London packed with sorrowful mourners. Huge crowds gathered in near silence to watch as the Queen's flag-draped coffin topped with an Imperial State crown. Her orb and sceptre was carried slowly to a gun carriage from Parliament's Westminster Hall, where it had lain in state since Wednesday, to the tone and pipes and drums. The gun carriage used at every state funeral since Queen Victoria in 1901 was then drawn by 142 junior enlisted sailors in the Royal Navy to Westminster Abbey. The 1,000-year-old church tenor bell tolled 96 times at 1-minute interval, one for every year of her life, stopping a minute before the service began. In his funeral sermon, Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby praised the Queen's life of duty and service to the UK and Commonwealth.
Her late Majesty famously declared on a 21st birthday broadcast that her whole life would be dedicated to serving the nation and Commonwealth. Rarely has such a promise been so well kept. Few leaders receive the outpouring of love that we have seen.
The longest-serving monarch in British history died in Balmoral, her Scottish Highland retreat, on September 8 after a year of declining health. Her eldest son and successor, King Charles III, dressed in ceremonial military uniform, followed a solemn procession along his three siblings. And on sport, over to Muhammadu.
Chelsea midfielder Jorginho is reportedly Barcelona's latest target, as they already plan ahead for the opening of the winter transfer window. Barcelona were in talks with Chelsea during the summer window for Marcos Alonso and also interested in Chelsea's keeper Cesar Azpilicueta after the acquisition of Andres Christensen on a free transfer. Now, according to The Sun, the Catalans are monitoring Jorginho's contract situation and could sign him in January. It is reported that the 30-year-old, whose contract ends in 2023, could be sold in January or leave Chelsea on a free transfer. Graham Potter has recently taken over from Thomas Tuchel at Stamford Bridge, and Jorginho may not feature in his plans. Jorginho previously played for Napoli and Hellas Verona in Serie A before joining Chelsea. The midfielder was named UEFA Player of the Year in 2021 and has won the Champions League with Chelsea and the European Championship with Italy. Still in sports, Samuel Chukwueze and Emmanuel Dennis will not be part of Nigeria's squad that will take on the Desert Foxes of Algeria. Chukwueze and Dennis are both injured and will miss the highly anticipated friendly against the two-time African champions. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa have also been ruled out of the game as a result of injury. Portugal-based forward Xavier Godwin and left-back Ebube Duru have been handed late call-ups by head coach Jose Peseiro. Xavier plays for Portuguese club helped Casa Pia gain promotion to the top flight last season. Duru is a key player for Nigeria Professional Football League champions Rivers United. The defender was part of the team that played in the CAF Champions League against Watanga FC of Liberia on Sunday.
And that's all we have in sport updates for today. I'm Muhammadu. Thanks for watching. Do have a nice day.
Thank you, Kosum. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari to unveil Nigeria's integrated national financing framework in New York. National Assembly resumes plenary. Media rights agenda drags National Broadcasting Commission to court over broadcasting license. On business, Nigeria Economic Summit Group and marketers fear crisis as fuel subsidy curbs 2.04 trillion naira. And on the international scene, Britain and the world bid farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. And in sports, Jorginho linked with January transfer to Barcelona. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Foz Ibrahim. Do have a nice day.